It's a beautiful day here in South Florida, Miami. Behind me I have the wonderful rain gutter grow system. There's other videos they might show in the bottom. But I want to bring you guys a little bit of an update here. It's February now, the end of February. And you can see everything is just growing absolutely fantastic. I have all the figs here flourishing. I have all my peppers in the back, tons of peppers, infinite amounts of peppers. I recently harvested them all, so there might not be much to show you, but you can see everything is beautiful and green behind me. I'm just gonna flip the camera around now. We're gonna take a look and do a quick little overview. I'm sure there's people out there that really wanna know what's going on with the garden, so let's do that now. To begin the little tour, we're gonna start here at the end with my so-called cayenne pepper. I was informed by several members on the hot pepper subreddit. These are not cayenne peppers because they are growing upwards. I don't know, these might not be cayenne peppers, but I took them from a cayenne pepper seed packet. But this is how they grow. They start purple. Some flowers are purple. You can see a lot of flowers here. And a very productive plant. I harvested a lot of the red ones, but they start purple. They turn green sometimes, and then they go full red. They don't grow much longer than this, but this is how they are. There's a lot of plants in here, probably more than should be in this bucket. That's because I take the old peppers, ones that don't look good, and I just throw them back in the bucket, and they grow into seedlings and new plants. I do thin it back every now and then, and this is the original one here. That's why it's so big and trellised. Over here, I have my hot red cherry peppers, and there aren't many red ones. There's a red one back here, but these are also interesting because they grow upward. They don't hang. These I like to harvest, and I could use them in salads, or I just throw it in a vinegar solution, and it's just a very nice snack. But again, this is a very productive plant. You can see all those flowers and buds going on there. Down here, I don't know exactly what's growing in there, but I'm just gonna let it do its thing. I have thrown different seeds into all these buckets and grow bags, so there could be anything growing in there. I'm just gonna write it out and see. It could even be a weed, not even sure. This is my habanero. It used to be much bigger. I don't know if you recall from the earlier videos, but I pruned it back because it was having deficiencies, a lot of yellow, not very good growth going on. So I pruned it back. I left one branch because this one had habaneros on it. But you can see all the new growth is very vibrant, very green. Next up, I have 3 jalapeno plants. We have some here. These seem pretty stressed. These suckers are probably really hot. You see some new growth coming in. Same story with these. I recently fertilized all my plants again. I give it a citrus and avocado blend straight out of a big bag, and I just toss it in here, probably about a 1/4 cup. So 1, 2, 3 jalapenos. Over here, growing out this bag, I'm not sure if you can tell from this leaf structure, but this is definitely a super hot. This is, I believe, ghost pepper. I don't have any peppers hanging on here just yet, because again, this one also had that similar deficiency with lack of nutrients. But you can see how thick these stems are down here. Very, very thick, tall stems, and this is bushing out a lot. Again, these are gonna be super hot peppers that I probably can't consume anyway, but, oh, no, I lied. This here, it could be, actually, yes, this could be ghost pepper. It looks like a ghost pepper, but I believe in one of these, I also tossed some Sugar Rush peach. So it might be that. If you guys know, comment down below if you can tell me exactly what these are. But they definitely look like Buchalokias, ghost peppers. So I guess I'll see what color they ripen to. If they ripen to peach, then those are my Sugar Rush peach. I never found out where the Sugar Rush peach went. I threw it again in one of these many containers, so who knows where it is now. Over here, you could already see some beautiful flowers. Let's see if you can guess what it is. Yep, you're right. This is my cilantro. So this cilantro is growing great. I harvested it a couple times, and I made some delicious garlic cilantro sauce. The secret to the garlic cilantro is the light mayo. I always use light mayo, and that keeps it from being too heavy. And you also got to throw in 1 de-seeded jalapeno, okay? And that makes all the flavor right there. You get that crisp jalapeno flavor, a little bit of kick, but not too much spice, okay? Down here you can see the rain gutter in which all these containers and buckets dip into, and it's kind of low right now, and you can see some residual soil down there at the bottom, but that's nothing to write home about. Let's move on over. You can already tell by the leaf structure that these are a super hot as well. And I think these are pretty gnarly. These aren't some guys that you want to mess with. Let's see if we could see one over here. That leaf is broken. There he is, ready to ruin your day. This container is labeled Carolina Reaper. This one specifically, these 4 plants were taken or bought actually as starters from Home Depot. And again, this was showing the same type of deficiency. Very, very yellow leaves, very weak growth. As you can see, we're not dealing with that anymore. The growth is all over the place. It's growing out of these containers. The grow bags, the air pruning effect is doing its job. I can't wait to see this continue to grow. I do have some Carolina Reapers from the same batch in my hydroponic setup, and the fruits look completely different. They do not look like this. They have like big old stingers on them. Very scary. Here we have the Swiss chard, or perpetual spinach. This is one of those crops that's absolutely beautiful, and it grows great in the summer. Right? It doesn't stretch out, doesn't do anything weird. This one's actually in a smaller tote. I think that's a 5-gallon tote. This is also kind of the same concept here. I didn't need this top here, but I thought, you know, maybe it would collect a little bit of rain and draw it into the channel. Again, that's all theory, but I mean, you would think it would work. It would just collect rain and help siphon it to the bag, or eventually drip into the channels here, the rain gutters. So that's the perpetual spinach. This stuff has such great taste, and it's really weird when people see this, when they see me bring this to work, they're like, oh, what is that? So there you have it. You can find this at your local supermarkets, but believe it or not, it grows free in my backyard. Next up, we have all my figs, so prepare yourselves. There's a lot of them. So figs. These recently I pinched off the tops. They're getting kind of tall, so I want them to branch out. That is my little experiment down there with the water bottle, cloning the plant. There's another video on that. You'll probably see it in the corner. More figs. And over here, this is an interesting one. So this one here, I just harvested it today, but I also throw scraps in here for them to break down and compost by themselves there. But this one was a bunch of those mini sweet peppers that you would find in the supermarket in a plastic bag, and I just took the seeds and I threw them in here, and there was tons of plants, like way too many plants, and it was having, again, the same deficiencies that all my other plants were showing. So across the board, I fertilized everybody. This is what the leaves started to look like, but you can see that the new growth is much better. So we have a couple peppers coming in here, these mini sweet peppers. They are delicious. Okay, you stir fry them, pan fry them, or you know, you roast them. Very delicious flavor. Let's come back over here. This is another rendition of a self-watering container that I have. Similar theory, different execution. So these grow bags are inside of these buckets. At the bottom of the buckets, there is a reservoir of water, just like that. And the water gets distributed throughout all my containers here through gravity, as you would imagine. It just flows. So we have a bunch more figs, as always. Fig 1, Fig 2, Fig 3. This one's kind of empty. It also connects to these containers and just pools with water. I surprisingly do not have any issues with mosquitoes in here. It seems to be working fine. This would be like the kiddie pool type of thing going on, where it just wicks water through the bottom. This container also wicks through the bottom. It has a hole on the sides that it wicks it through the soil. This is actually cinnamon, and I have not seen any growth from this at all. This is about the same size it was when I put it in there, and well, it still looks exactly the same. Up here, you can see some beautiful fruits. This is improved Myers lemon. We have tons of little lemons coming on, and this is in a self-watering type of situation where the water just sits down there and it wicks it through the bottom of the pot. You could see some sort of light color here. I'm sure this particular one is also due for some nutrients, but you can evidence this for yourself. You can see this for yourself. There's fruits coming on everywhere. It's awesome. I can't wait to repot this in something bigger and just let the tree grow, you know, just let it do its thing. Over here we have some of the plants that were sent to me from Salad Beard Farms. They sent me a bunch of plants, mostly all those figs, which have been growing absolutely great, and the ones over here as well. And they sent me the cinnamon. Not sure what's going on with that, but maybe that needs fertilizer as well. But let's come on over to this tote. So this tote's a self-watering container as well. You can see these are all in line, and basically this has some black tube at the bottom to kind of give it some space. This black tube here, and then the soil is placed on top of it, and it kind of holds water at the bottom, and the soil is placed on top and it just wicks it. But here we have several varieties of pineapple. So we have White Jade, Elite Gold, and Florida Special down here at the end. So these are all pineapple plants, and they appear to be thriving. This one's interesting in specific because there's two babies growing here. Pineapple 1 and Pineapple 2. In the middle, I have my extra figs. I have Cadota fig, Celeste fig. I don't expect these to grow very much because they are still in a container. They're very limited by that tiny little container they're in. But I want to bring light to this one over here. This one here is Thornless Blackberry. This definitely needs to be repotted because it looks like it's getting ready to take off, and I'm looking forward to the fruit. Again, don't mind the vehicles driving by. It's a pretty crazy intersection here, but these leaves feel absolutely soft. Very nice looking plant. It's starting to take off now. So I want to close up this video on a high note. I want to thank everybody who's been watching my videos, all the subscribers, everybody who shares and supports me, all those thumbs up. 2020 has been the year of growth, both on my channel and in my garden. If you guys have any questions or concerns or anything you want to know about how I run my garden or work my hydroponics, just leave the questions below and I'll get back to you.